Hello everybody, my name is Dalton Hopkins, and today we are going to not continue, we are going to be theorizing and talking about the lore of Cuphead and his pal, Mugman. Let's not waste your time, let's get right into this. Cuphead is a simple game with a simple story. It starts with the brothers chasing butterflies and their elder kettles asleep, meaning they ended up finding the Devil's Casino after wandering around for a bit. Cuphead and Mugman were on a roll as King Dice is shocked. He's never seen this before. Then the devil walks in, though. And then the devil bets all of his goals on the casino itself. That if they win, they could have it all. Cuphead, blinded by the money, rolls, but then he lands Snake Eyes, the loser thing. Spam! Then the devil states that they now owe them their souls. They then start to beg for their lives, and then the devil agrees, shows a list, and tells them that these are all the people that owe him their souls, and to go get them. He then kicks them out of the casino, and they run to Elder Kettle to ask what to do. Elder Kettle gives them a potion that, as you can see, gives them the ability to shoot with their fingers. And you can also upgrade the weapon by going to Port Ryan's shop, where you can get stuff like the Chaser and Spreader. Now I will tell you all of the bosses you face. You fight the Root Pack, the Ribby Croaks, Hildeberg, Goopy Legrand, and Cagney Carnation on the first aisle. And there's also a secret phase on aisle 1 where you can activate a Radish in the first boss fight, the Root Pack. Now, in order to be able to get the items from Port Grand's shop to upgrade your bullets, you will have to do running guns, where there are coins scattered everywhere that you have to collect and then beat the running gun. And I have a theory that the people that owe the devil their souls, like Beppy the Clown and Goopy Legrand, tell these all the creatures in the running guns that they have to kill Cuphead and Mugman whenever they show up there, and if they don't, they would kill them. Well, technically, in the canon universe, we kill them, so I don't really think they're gonna be able to kill them now. After collecting all the souls, we can head into a dice-shaped house where King Dice will allow us to head to the very next aisle. And and also, the moment we make it to aisle 2, we end up running into Elder Kettle, who tells us that judging from how we are doing so far, we could even take on King Dice and the devil himself, which we end up doing in the canon run. The very next bosses we defeat in aisle 2 are Beppy the Clown, the Candy Lady, which I call her, aka Baroness Von Bon. We also have the Jimmy the Great, Wally Warbles, and Grim Matchstick. Those are all the bosses in the second aisle that owe us that they owe the devil's soul. Also, aisle 2 is the aisle where we first get bombs for our plane, which we get the plane in, of course, aisle 1 to fight Hildeberg, who's the first plane boss. You can also do mausoleums in order to get super arcs, so that way saving up all your cards would actually be worth. You will get these super arcs from Miss Chalice, who's in the DLC. When we first make it to the third aisle, we get to see a scene where King Dice and the Devil are pretty surprised we've made it this far, and King Dice actually ends up betting against us and thinking we will lose and die in the third aisle. And the devil states that if they try to pull any sneaky moves and back out of the deal, he will be waiting. And of course, I will tell you all the bosses we face in the Third Isle. We face Rumor Honeybottoms, the Captain Brinybeard, along with the rat of them all, which I have no clue's name. I don't. Oh yeah, it's Wally Warbles. Then we also got Dr. Cal's robot, Sally Stage Play, and Calamaria. And the third aisle is the aisle with the most amount of bosses. Also, don't forget the Phantom Express. Then, after collecting all the souls, we head to Inkwell Heck, where we then first face off King Dice, who eventually reveals he betted against us, and he won't let us face the devil until we play his little game, where we have to face at least three bosses in order to actually get to him. Now, these three bosses you have to get to is by rolling a dice. And there are a bunch of bosses, but you only need to face exactly three. After completing all three mini-bosses, you then fight King Dice himself, who send out cards which you have to parry, and then eventually, after a bit of the same thing repeating, you defeat him. Then you make it to the devil, and if you want the canon ending, you have to tell him no and back out of the deal, where you then fight the devil himself, which eventually, in order to complete, you then head down below and face a giant version of him, which you then will have to defeat, which causes him to cry, and then that leads you to the knockout. And then Mugman and Cuphead burn the contract, and then they're remembered as the city heroes. And all the bosses we face celebrate, and they promise to never get into trouble again. And that's the Cuphead lore. I can't wait to see you next time on the Dalton Theories.